Hey everyone, I'm Miko, and these are your September 2021 State of the Stream announcements. First up, I'm relaxing and partially dissolving the schedule we started with this month. I'll still be going live at 6 p.m. Central, but there's no longer a set duration or structure within that time. If we want to spend 5 hours on one game and 2 hours on another, great. We could spend 7 hours on a single game. On the other hand, if I have to do a shorter night to make room for voice acting or another job, that's fine too. Rather than overstructuring everything and disappointing the community when I need to take time for myself, I opt to eliminate the expectation and simply enjoy our time together, however much that might be. Overall, it's important for everyone, especially myself, to understand that streaming is now a hobby, not my occupation. It's something that I'm only able to do for fun on the side. Streaming requires too much time and labor right now to be truly successful on its own. Giving enough energy to guarantee getting back off the ground would mean that I was neglecting my actual work as a voice actor, which I can't justify. Voice acting needs a similarly large amount of time to be successful. It has my priority. So please be patient with me as I learn to step back from streaming and move it onto a secondary priority. This increased need for flexibility also comes with a relaxation of game rotations. I'm not limiting myself to games I think will help the channel grow anymore, but rather just whatever I want to play at the time. If we continue to have viewership in the mid-teens, then so be it. If it falls to under 10 again, so be it. I'll stream as long as two conditions are met. First, there has to be an audience, and secondly, I need to be able to financially justify the time spent out of the booth. An hour spent streaming is an hour that I'm neither auditioning nor training, and there is a bottom line I have to meet to pay the bills like anyone else. And while this channel is and has always been more supported by magnitudes than its competitors of similar size, there is still a deficit in my monthly expenses that I have to shore up. To do so, last month I started tutoring in the evenings on non-streaming days, and I was recently hired at my old school as a substitute, and I expect to begin work as soon as next week. I'll cover classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and on an on-call basis, at least for the next few months. In that time, I'm hoping and anticipating that the channel will grow, and that the deficit will cover itself without needing to hold two part-time jobs just to make ends meet. This is the situation I was hoping to avoid from the start, as I know that growing a channel while holding traditional working conditions is only going to make the task somehow harder. But it's what I have to do right now while the channel is recovering. I'm betting that it'll get better, and honestly, I'm banking on it getting better. The reality for streamers of all sizes is that you need one or more of three things to be successful. You need to stream all day, every day, or you need to produce the best unique content, or you have to have some kind of external draw that brings people in just by your name, such as being a pro player in a certain game. I mean, you could be the worst streamer on the entire platform, but still have one of the largest channels just because of your name outside of Twitch. Or because you spent 7 years streaming the same boring content and grew by sheer force of will. As for me, I hope to press the advantages I have. It'll be enough, or it won't. And I'll go back to the drawing board again, and again, and again, until it works. In our first year, I streamed long hours consistently and produced outstanding content, and our growth was rapid and assured. Now, I can't afford to dedicate that kind of time. And I also don't want to sacrifice my fun to court a larger viewership that I can't really sustain. And believe me, I realize that may doom the channel to stagnation or eventual failure. It is what it is. Like any chicken and egg conundrum, the hard part is knowing where to start. So I've come to a few conclusions that don't really change anything other than my mindset as the streamer. All of this is just to share my thoughts as I continue this journey. And I hope that I can look back at this and be glad that we persisted instead of giving up, which most people would do if they were where I am now. Moving forward, I have to prioritize myself more than I'm used to, even if it means that the channel becomes disadvantaged as a competitor in the rat race for success on Twitch. I have no doubts that eventually I'm going to be a top streamer on Twitch. The question is, how do we get to that point, and when? You guys already know the potential. You see our streams, and you can clearly tell that what I'm offering is by and far well above the average. So I'm preaching to the choir here. I know that. I just want to assure everyone that even if it looks like the stream is fading from priority, and it is, that it's not ending. I'm not quitting, not disappearing, or otherwise changing my long-term plans on taking over the internet. I can't imagine not streaming. But at the end of the day, I have bills to pay. And until the stream is capable of covering its cost, I can't afford to give it the attention it deserves. And so the chicken and egg issue comes to the forefront. How does someone grow their channel to becoming sustainable without being able to operate unsustainably? It's a hard question, but I believe I have the answers, as always. The key is to offer a consistently high-quality experience for viewers, and that quality doesn't rely on game choice. The core of our community is people who would watch me play anything, and those are the people that I want to invest in. I can't stress over courting new viewers and making myself unhappy in the process. Rather, the goal is to make a stream that is so goddamn attractive that the little exposure we do get is worth more per view than our competitors, who rely on quantity rather than quality. In the first year State of the Stream meetings, I remember sharing the data that revealed our higher concurrent viewership per view as compared to similar channels. When we get a shot, we usually land it. The question is, where do we get those shots at viewership? So on one hand, it makes a lot of sense as a business to stream RimWorld, where we can expect an increase in viewership, inconsistent as it is. On the other hand, what if I want to play other things? Well, obviously I'm going to play what I want now. But at the moment, I'm not having to choose. I have genuinely enjoyed Rims of Our Lives in a way that I haven't since last September, when it was still new and raw. I still believe this is the best RimWorld content on the internet, and the only reason we're not blasting off in viewership is because I'm only able to stream it a few hours a week rather than the 50 or so that we were doing before. And we could easily overtake the top streamers in our time slot, guaranteed, if I were going the pace I did in our first year. But that's not our reality, so they get to remain on top for now. But there is only so much time that they'll get to enjoy that spot before we take over. That said, there's not that much pressure to have a live viewership now that we have our VODs on YouTube. It's been good for our robust international community. In addition, it takes one major disadvantage of live streaming away. Putting something on YouTube means that anyone can watch it at any time. They don't have to be available when I'm putting on the show in the first place. If they have to step away in the middle of the broadcast, they can pause, come back, and not miss anything. And rather than putting on a unique show for that one night at that one time and then having it disappear when the VOD rolls off, we're now building a growing vault of footage and playthroughs that'll continue to accumulate over time and be around to entertain new and old viewers alike. I mean, think about it. A new viewer finds the channel through Twitch or through YouTube and decides that they like listening to Radio Miko. Of course they do. But then they want more. Well, we've got countless hours for them to enjoy on the YouTube, and each stream is just stacking another section on top. And since it's all high quality, it builds a commanding portfolio that will attract and retain viewers. Considering the eventuality that we'll produce YouTube exclusive content, you're looking at a potent engine for growth for a time-starved streamer like me. It also offers another place for us to maybe get discovered. If you've enjoyed the YouTube effort so far, let me know in the comments, and be sure to give us feedback when you have it, so we can continue making the best channel. I maintain that this channel is one of the best undiscovered content creation efforts on the internet, hands down. The question is just how long it'll take us to get discovered. Given the saturation of competitor channels, it's hard to stand out. Add in the many obstacles to discovery for good small creators and the overwhelming influence of luck, it feels impossible at times, and it's only getting harder over time as those conditions continue to deteriorate. But with all the disadvantages that we are facing, it feels sometimes like there's nothing we can do to grow. We're just kind of sitting here and waiting for an opportunity to come by. And for me personally, I'd say that's pretty accurate. I'm doing just about everything that I can already. But the beautiful thing about our community is that we really are in this together. My success is our success. I have built everything around that philosophy, and I work my hardest to make sure that everybody feels that they can contribute, no matter what they contribute, whether it's their time, their ideas, their feedback. For some of you, you're oil barons and you want me to be your sugar baby, and believe me, I'm down. But with all that on the table, I'd like to get to some of the fattier bits of tonight's update. I'm excited to announce that we're organizing a monthly clip contest. Really well-made clips are essential in my research. They're essential to helping a channel grow from out of the early days. Yeah, and it's absolutely true. I mean, we used to have members of the community who went way out of their way to make and share clips, and those clips remain some of my favorite bits of footage from the channel's very early days. Okay, so we put that there. That's a mistake. Dude, it's only 3 zombies left. 4 zombies left. Where's the 4th one? Oh, no, he's going to the... Fuck! Ah, Boba! Not that jumpy just because. I'm jumpy because... Ah, no! Oh, God. We are getting this. Hopefully it doesn't botch. Botching would be very painful for us right now. Right here? Oh, fuck me. Can you not? Oh! Giggles! He ain't laughing no more. You know what, whatever. Hey, Nikolai, how you doing? I just got my lunch. Nikolai's like, isn't that Enzo? Nah, man, it's lunch. It got up! Dude, the grizzly bear just thrumbo thrusted me. Oh.
Be cleansed, my child. Be cleansed of your sins.
Orders.
Hey, Fireground. Hey, thank you for investing in your 60-month sub streak and supporting one of the fastest growing channels on the channel's listing. Oh, I fucked it up. Red, cancel your. Sorry, Fire, cancel your sub. It's over. I got Fireground sub. I'm out of here. I'm retiring. See you tomorrow. And to help encourage everyone to clip their favorite moments, the editors and I are prepared to offer a competition each month. We'll have a separate announcement later this month with more finalized details. But for now, go ahead and get your clips made, and make sure you submit them to the Clips channel and our Discord. What I can tell you now is that the winner will be decided by clip views, so be sure to share the moments that you save. Make suggestions in the comments about what kinds of prizes and rewards you think we should offer for the winners. Next up, here's some information about New World. I'm going to be playing it on release, and I'll be based in the Eden server on the NA East region. It already has a group of smaller streamers that are registered for it, but none of the really big names are based there. This means it should be streamer friendly without being overcrowded or ruined by any other streamer's obnoxious giant community. We'll have an open guild for everyone to hop into. I'm generally focused on PvE and PvP support and roleplay. We're going to be running more of a merchant guild focused on economics and diplomacy rather than raw combat. If you're looking for a more hardcore, dedicated, organized PvP group, then another guild may be better suited to your interests. Also, I intend to join the purple faction because it's a goddamn good color for undead royalty like us. Also, are there any Redditors in the community? I'd like to organize a couple subreddits to function as bulletin boards and community hubs that are more broadly public than the Discord server. I don't know anything really about running a subreddit, so I'm opening applications for anyone who's interested in joining the editor team in that role. You would be responsible for establishing, organizing, maintaining, and moderating these subreddits on behalf of the stream. Ideally, you have some experience in similar roles and are an active Reddit user. The 2 subreddits would be r/Rims of Our Lives, which I've already created, and another focused on the stream specifically. Reach out to me on Discord if you're interested in this opportunity. For now, this is on a volunteer basis only, but it would become a paid position in the future when, I'm actually making money. Speaking of expenses, I've adjusted the cost of the GeoGuessr challenge. We're cutting the knife price in half, down to $50,000, and we'll continue to monitor the frequency of these challenges going forward to ensure that the price is right. Some of you already know that I originally went to college to become a freelance artist. I was told repeatedly at the time that it wasn't a realistic career choice, so I moved into other fields. But I've always held on to my dream of being a freelance artist someday, and I think it's about time I laid the groundwork. Little did I know in 2008 how viable and realistic it would be almost 14 years later. There's a massive indie artist market out there, and there's no time like the present to turn yet another hobby into a side gig. I've been working steadily in the background to learn new art software and how to use the most modern techniques for digital art using that program. After a lot of practice working on different stream graphics, I've even learned how to produce my own animations for stream. And the reception has been really positive. And thank you, by the way, everyone, for your feedback. It means the world to hear your thoughts on anything. You may not realize how much I and most other content creators look forward to the little things like seeing likes on the Patreon, the Twitter, and comments on the YouTube. That feedback definitely drives and motivates me individually to want to do more. So consider it the best way to support the channel without spending anything more than a minute of your time. As far as the professional illustration is concerned, I'm working on one piece right now for the delicious Rian. This practice piece will be produced in 3 different ways to set the foundation for my initial portfolio and to showcase the range of styles and techniques that I'm prepared to offer my clients. Once this work is complete, I'll be opening commissions formally in limited slots. I'm prepared to offer a few main styles, and while I don't have any finished examples right now, that's why I'm making them with Rian, I do want to give some description of the 3 main styles that I plan to offer. One, a throwback to an ancient and classic style, features heavy line art and monochromatic fills with accented values. Here's a piece I sketched out a year or 2 ago, but never got around to finishing. It feels similar to a terracotta glaze, stained glass, or something you'd find on a tarot card. Flat, stylized, and highly flavorful, this style is quick to execute while dripping with aesthetic. I think it makes an excellent style for character references, especially in print. The second uses a gentler line weighting and soft watercolors to call on more impressionist, surrealist representations of characters and their environments. It's great for a Western adaptation of super flat anime styles. The colors can be muted or saturated depending on the client's desired intensity of the piece. Each piece will be truly one of a kind, as watercolors never do the same thing twice, even in the digital world, and that's what I love about them. Finally, the most technically impressive style is a full photorealistic rendering of the subject and their environment. This is the most intensive piece, both on time and effort, as the painting process approaches a CGI level of simulation for lighting, material, and form. It's the most expensive option, but it's unrivaled for accuracy in representing how a client's character would really look. I see it as the ultimate reference piece. I'll have more excruciating detail on pricing and commission procedure at a later time, so just be aware that should be opening up in the next month or 2. But no promises on that timeline. It's all flexible, and it'll be ready when it's meant to be ready. Let me know what kind of art you might be interested in commissioning. And just as a reminder, certain patron tiers have discounts on art commissions tied in, so consider joining the investor team if you're planning to get some work done. Just as a reminder, this announcement is the result of the actual State of the Stream meeting that we had last week on Discord. If you'd like to be more involved behind the scenes, consider joining the investor team on Patreon. I treat you all like shareholders in my company, because you effectively are. This stream isn't possible without your ongoing support, and every one of you is making the difference just by watching. The next State of the Stream meeting will be at 7 p.m. on Friday, October 22nd. As for tonight, that's all I've got to share. I'm blown away by the generosity I've seen month after month, and I can only hope that the work I'm doing is worth your contribution. Truly, I couldn't continue doing this without you. Tonight was a little longer and a little more candid than I originally anticipated, but I feel it would be a disservice to all of you who have invested in me not to share my real feelings and the reasons for making the decisions that I am. Let me know in the comments how you think I can continue to make this the best channel on Twitch, YouTube, and everywhere else. I'm Miko, and this has been the September 2021 State of the Stream. Thank you for your time, and good night.